Hi everybody, my name is Liz and I'm a student at Acquia University, which you can check out at u.acquia.com. Today I'm going to be going over the flag module, which is a very powerful module, but I'm just going to cover 3 simple use cases to get you started. Example 1 is flag bookmarks, which is built in when you install the module. It's a good example of how per user flags work. The second example is going to be a buddy list. And this is an example of how flags can be attached to other entities aside from nodes, and we'll actually be using the flag module with users. Example 3 is going to be an example of how you can use it for featured content, and this is a good example of how global flags work. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to come to drupal.org/project/flag, where you can download the module, and there are no dependencies, and so you can just go ahead and install it. Okay, so once you've installed your module, you can head over to the module page and enable flag and enable flag bookmark, which is going to be our first example, and it's going to demonstrate per user flags and how that works. Before I get into the nitty-gritty about configuration, I'm going to show you how this works. So you can see here I've created these articles, and they're in a view, and it's added this bookmark this link. So if I click it, it's now bookmarked. And if I click this one, it's also bookmarked. And if I go to my account, there's a view here, and all this is a view, and it shows me which articles I've clicked on. Now if I log out and I log back in as another user, you'll see if I go to my account page and then I go to my bookmarks tab, I don't have anything bookmarked. So let's take a look at how this works. If you go to Structure, Flags, you can see here the bookmarks flag, which again is the one we enabled on the modules page. And if you click on Edit, it'll take you to the configuration page. And this field right here is your bread and butter field. This is why individual users can have different bookmarked content. When this is checked and there's a global flag, content is either flagged or not flagged. But when it's not checked, like we have it here, each user has individual flags on entities. This is precisely the reason that I can bookmark content and see it on my bookmark tab, but if I log in as a different user, it's not there. Okay, let's take a look at some of these other fields. So, the flag link text, if you remember on the article page that I showed you, there was the bookmark this link that we clicked. This is where you set that text. Flag link description is the title attribute on the link entity, and the flagged message is that text that you saw fade in after you checked bookmark this. And then this is all the same in reverse for when you unbookmark a piece of content. Down here under flag access, you see that authenticated users have permission to flag and unflag or bookmark and unbookmark content. And I've set it only to work on articles. And if you're familiar with permissions, these will also look familiar, that you can flag content that you own or flag any content. Under display options, you can choose which view modes the link should appear on. I have the teaser view showing in my view, so you can see here that it's checked and will show up. And then when you're finished, you can save your flag. In example number 2, we're going to look at the buddy list I've created. This is to demonstrate how flags can be attached to other entities other than a node. So this is how the functionality looks on the user side. I've created a member list, which is just a view, and this is my flag link right here. it's attached to the user instead of a node. So if I click on this, I now have a new buddy named Billy Wordsworth. And I also have a friend named Ezzy Pound. And now if I head over to my account page again, and I check my buddy list, I can see who my buddies are. So if we take a look at how this flag is set up, here's my buddy list, and you can see the difference here is the flag type, where my bookmarks were a node, my buddy list is a user, and where you do that is when you click on Add Flag, you have an option for all the different entities that you can flag. I'm going to back out of here since I'm not actually adding one. Let's go in and take a look at my buddy list. This is a very, very similar interface to the node interface. In fact, it's pretty much exactly the same. You can see here again the title, a global flag that we covered in the previous example. Here I've added my link text, and just as a demonstration, I've used tokens. So you can actually use tokens, and that's why it says make so-and-so, make Ezzy my buddy. Same deal down here, authenticated users are able to add buddies to their buddy list. The only real difference I've noticed is users may flag themselves. Of course, that wouldn't apply on a node. So you can go all through here and then just save your flag. There you go. And now you have a flag that works on users. In the third and final example, I'm going to demonstrate how a global flag works, since we've done two flags that were just per user flags. And I'm going to use the example of featured content. So how this works is that I've got my list of articles here, and I am logged in as an admin right now. Only admin has the access to do this. So I've included the feature flag. So this link is for the feature this flag. So I'm going to set this article to featured. And now I've created a view so that if you're on the home page, you can see featured content. Now because this is a global field, if I log out and I log back in, and I'm logging in as a different user, this featured content is still here. And in addition, if I go over here and I feature a different article, then I go back to my home page, I've got two featured articles. Of course, I set this up to be not featured, so I'm going to unfeature this. And then I'm going to go back to my articles and feature this one, so it makes more sense. Okay, so this again is yet another view because Flag integrates with views, and I've just set it up to only show content in this view that is marked as featured. So let's take a look at the back end and see how this is set up. So for the featured flag, you can see this is the same as the bookmarks. It's a node, and it's also set up only to show up on articles. But if I go in here, I bet you can guess what the big difference is. This one is a global flag, and what that means is that whether I'm logged in as admin 1, admin 2, this is going to show up either flagged or not flagged. It is not flagged per user, so for everyone it will be flagged or not flagged. Again, the setup here is very similar. You've got your link text, your flag link description, which I was too lazy to put in for the demo. You've got your flagged message. And the roles that may use this flag has been set to administrator, I've only allowed administrators to do this. All of my other settings are the same. And that's it. So I was able to create 3 different functionalities with only a few variations in my configuration. So in example 1, I demoed how per-user flags work, showing the flag bookmarks. In example 2, I showed how flags can be attached to other entities, and I used my buddy list as a demo. And for example number 3, featured content, I showed how global flags work. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you a nice little shortcut. If you head over to your content, and I've got these not featured articles, I can now, with my update options, and you can see all of my flags show up here, I can feature all of these articles. So now if I go to my home page, all of my not featured articles that I just said is featured are showing up as well. So that makes it very easy to bulk edit. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for watching.